call to order the March 5th, 2025 Fishers Plan Unit Development Committee. Okay, it looks like we do have a quorum, so we can conduct our affairs today. We'll move to the agenda item, case number PUD-25-1, Target, with an address at Southeastern Parkway and 136th Street. It's a request to approve the architecture and site plan to construct a 148,000 square feet retail building and associated parking. And we have Ross Hillary to present on behalf of the staff. Thanks, Ross.
Good evening. For the record, Ross Hillary, Planning and Zoning Director for the City of Fishers. As mentioned before you is PUD 25-1. This is the new proposed target. To locate us where we're at, we are just off of exit 210, which is Campus Parkway and Southeastern Parkway, located at East 136th Street. And this is part of the Saxony PUD. As you can see here, this is the location of the proposed target. Here is the site plan that was provided in your packet tonight. We have worked through this through the TAC process. I will show you this pretty rendering provided by our team as well. So to locate us again on this site, you have the two existing roundabouts. There are some existing trees, but as part of this project, we worked with Target on two really good pedestrian connections leading from 136th Street up to the front. So they've mentioned to us this is a total width of 18 feet with a landscape median in the middle, just to provide you with some context. In your packet, you also received the, I'll do this for each slide, the elevations on the top is what was provided in your packet. And earlier this week provided updated elevations from the Target team here. So just kind of wanted to walk through some of these. You can see here that it is a tilt-up construction. There are some areas highlighted with different materials, so white, gray, and this red material also as part of their branding. A combination of glass as well as a wood material on all these. As mentioned in the staff report, and our development team knows this as well, the signage here is used for reference. I'll move on to the side. This is also the east elevation. This is an area that will be adjacent to some drive-up areas for their clients to pick up merchandise. They have also changed a small portion on this to include a small tower as part of their branding. Again, these are concrete walls, tilt-up construction. There are some areas with brick veneers as well as windows. This is the other side, so this is the west side, closer to IU Health. Similar in nature, tilt-up construction with the concrete walls, the windows, as well as the brick veneer. And lastly, this is the rear or the north elevation. This is what is facing the exit ramp, exit 210. So we do have some loading docks as well as some small towers, which I'll highlight here. So one of the staff requests was for these parapet walls, or excuse me, for these walls to extend to the top of the parapet. And the other item that staff requested, which the developer has agreed to, is to screen all HVAC on the roof if it is not shown. These are renderings that have been shared earlier with the city, at the State of the City. These are similar in nature to the elevations that they have provided as an update as well. You can see where those lines are in that tilt-up construction. So happy to receive any comments or feedback from the PD committee. Staff does have these three. Our first one is standard, that all TAC comments are addressed during the ILP process. Extend the wall modulation pillars on the rear elevation, which is the north side, to the full height of the parapet wall, and just screen all HVAC. Our friends from Eclipse Development are here as well. And then from Target and the architecture team is Megan McCaskey. Megan, I went ahead and pulled your slides in. So if you wouldn't mind walking through those, I can click to the next slide when you're ready.
Sure. Hi everyone, my name is Megan. I'm the design project architect with Target. We're very excited to have our project here at Target. I'm hearing a little feedback. Fishers. I actually have friends that live here, so I'm excited to give them a new store as well. I know that there is a rich architectural modernist history here in Columbus, not too far away from Indianapolis and Fishers. And so I've got a few just reference slides I pulled up here, IMK, Saarinen, some just really nice, modern, regional work here done near you. So that was sort of a reference point. And if you would like to flip to the next slide, please. This is similar to what you saw earlier in the last slide, showing, I think, what was sent to you earlier on. This building really that was sent to you earlier on had a different approach kind of for a different region. And what I wanted to make sure is the design acknowledges the really nice modern architectural history in the Indianapolis area, and has also the brick here in lieu of the stone that's shown above. But we do still have our red elements at the entries with our bullseyes. And then we've got, I painted the canopies here a slightly darker color. I think the brick I often see with kind of a nice darker metal, which is a nice offset than from our typical white. And then we do have the painted tilt, as he was saying earlier. And we've got some red elements that are drive up to capture the guest eye. And we've got some brick over there as well. Next slide, please. Yep. So again, very, very similar to the design you saw earlier, but more tailored to the regional approach of your area. We're using that brick around the corner where we have our offices. We've also added some spandrel glass and brick at the request, I believe, of the city to get a little bit more fenestration at that side of the building. And then I also added I call it an EFIS cloud. It's that red on the bottom right. We've got some red EFIS, and then we've got our bullseye on the backside, and that's partially to give visibility to the off-ramp and the highway behind our store, as well as people maybe coming from that direction at an angle. Next slide, please. This is our other side elevation here. We've got those windows, nice windows here that are shown both in the previous version and then our more store-specific, regionally specific version that's got the clerestory windows, and again, the use of the brick for a nice consistent architectural language. And then I also have over here this tower, again, with our bullseye for added visibility, but this again will be brick. Just I think it's a really nice modernist kind of beacon here for you guys to signify from the highway that our presence from that angle. And then last slide. And then again, this is the rear of the store. And so I think actually ours is a nice upgrade. The rear from the other design really is just painted, and we've got the clerestory windows. However, we have upgraded it and made it a little nicer here. We've added the brick, as well as you can see the other side of the red EFIS cloud, and then the tower. So I think really just leaning into this really nice modern history that you have in the area, applying that to our Target store, and just delivering something that's very current and simple but bold, and I think it would be really nice for the Fishers community. And then these are just some quick renders I did, just kind of showing what these might look like. Again, the lower image, if you're on the highway, I think it's 69, you can see both the red cloud and you can see our bullseye. These would be lit at night too, which I think will be great visibility for people on the highway. And then again, just on the front and the sides, just showing that brick articulation. We'll have a really nice green space. I'll be working with the developer team to make sure we're sourcing local plantings and just kind of having a nice biophilic feature, I guess, at the front here. We've got a bench, and then those tall windows are where we have checkouts. So it'll be really nice when people are coming to check out of our store. You can look outside and get that really nice connection to the exterior, to daylight. And that's why we also have the clerestory windows on the side and the back. And I think that's everything here. I don't know if you have any questions. I'm very excited to bring the store to you guys.
Thanks, Megan. Do we have any questions for Megan or the staff regarding their presentations?
I just had a quick question on the updated elevations. There's no trees on there. Are they still in the representative same places? They were just left off of the yeah, okay.
Yeah, Ross, actually, if you want to go
Yes.
back to the color landscape plan that we provided you. Yeah, there. So, hi, my name is Jeff Kimball. I'm with Eclipse on the development team.
This is the landscape plan that ties to the black and white one. And what Megan was talking about there, if you look sort of at the center of the target building, that planting area and the planters that would then look into the checkout area and then everything else, yeah, this is what the landscape plan is going to look like, and it's extensive, which meets your pretty substantial requirements.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
On the site plan, Jeff, this might be a you question or a Megan question. On the east-west side, where all of the concentration is there also a sidewalk connection through the middle of the parking lot, or is that just more showing like bigger tree canopies when those trees?
Yeah, so I can answer that. Both those entrances will have a sidewalk.
On the north-south, yeah, I'm talking about the east-west,
I'm sorry.
through the middle of the parking lot?
I think that's just an island.
Okay.
No, it would be at the front of the store. It wouldn't be through that drive.
Yeah, I think I understand your question, and no, we really don't have a dedicated walkway kind of going where those trees are in the middle. Those are landscape islands,
Okay.
but it's not a walkway.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I was asking, so that helps. On the materials of tilt-up versus concrete wall, are you using those terms interchangeably? I just noticed on the original elevation plans, there were some more like, it kind of looked like the tile feature that was in there. Thank you, Russ. Is that also on this new plan, or is it proposed that it's just flat and solid and smooth?
You're talking about the reveals.
Where it says
So
concrete
it's
wall
like the
painted?
stripes, they sort of look like they're like lines running across.
Yes.
So I did dial back a little bit on the reveals. I do have some, I was going to try and put with my mouse. I do have some added back in. I wanted to, sometimes the front can get really busy looking, and so I was trying to get a little more, I guess, I don't want to call it quieter in that area, but just kind of give the eye a visual break because it's very, very busy, pretty much from the far left red Ecos feature to the two between the two entries. So I was trying to quiet it down a little bit to give the eye a little bit of a visual break. But if you have, you would like to see more of that.
I'm sorry. Tracy, are you able to turn it up like on the speakers down here? It's a little bit hard. Okay. So Megan, I think that you had said that you had removed the different patterns on the tilt-up walls, and it is still tilt-up and not just split-face block?
It would be, yeah, it would be tilt up. We don't use space.
But removing all of like the horizontal
lines.
lines. What did you call
I
it?
can remove some of them, just as sort of, like I said, to give a little break between all the other things that elements going side. But if there's something that you felt like you'd like to see come back in a particular area, I can definitely work with you.
Yeah, I'd be curious what everybody else thinks. Just looking at it, just up and down, or comparing the two, it feels a little bit less, and again, maybe it's just my eyes playing tricks on me without having the trees in the rendering, or in the elevations. It just doesn't feel as, I don't know what the right word is. Something feels off about it to me, but I would defer.
I would agree. I think the horizontal reveals in the panels
There we go.
in the upper image, I think accentuate the horizontal nature of the building. And I think that you were trying to kind of clean that up a little bit is my guess. But I think that actually improves kind of the elevation. The other thing you're also not seeing in the bottom elevation is the vertical panel joints that will be every 10 feet or 12 feet or whatever, depending on the panels. So
That's true.
that also will be visible, but I kind of like the horizontal reveals in the upper image
Same.
more so than without them in the bottom, personally.
Yeah, we could go back and make an add some of the back in there. It may not be the exact you see in the upper one, because again, that's a design. We've got this we have below. You can add some of the back in.
Yeah, I think I would
Yeah,
want to
I
see
think
that.
we'd
And then,
willing to work with staff.
Yeah,
Work with staff
yeah.
on working that out.
and then on the local brick, that is still, I know that from the examples that Ross, you had on there from Megan, that is kind of the general color. I was just wondering if the color might potentially change at all. Not that it's bad or good, just more curious.
I had thought about that, referencing some of the images that I've seen, just doing research into them. I do sort of like how this color works up to the building, a lot of the trees, besides, and we have an entry. I had looked at a dark green paper, but I do sort of like the see with the would be correct.
We're having some difficulty hearing.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Sure, let me do that. Hold on one second. Is it any better?
It seems to be, yeah. Yeah.
Is it better? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Can you go through that? Sorry, on the brick color then, it was a little bit choppy.
No, that's okay. Sorry about that. I have looked at different colors of brick. It would definitely be a local with our team here to source something local to the area. And I have looked for colors, for example, maybe like a gray brick, something that's even a little bit more. I do like the word in parts, the design. We've got the regular cord, otherwise it's a cord is in glass. So I had taken a look at sticking more with kind of a warmer brick, especially because I do see it quite a bit. A couple of examples that I had seen.
It was still a little,
It's still-
and that's okay. Okay, Tracy confirmed, I didn't know if I was just losing my mind.
Losing your hearing.
Yeah, I think it would also be a condition of, I would put it in the approval, that it's a condition of like staff approval of what the brick color is, unless anybody, like, obviously want to open it up for everybody else, unless you think changing the material from brick to something else.
For what it's worth, I like the brick that's represented in the images. I think that it adds a nice warmth to the building. I think that one of your comments was something about gray brick. I would definitely lean away from something like that, just because I think that it does need that warmth to really kind of ground the building.
Agreed.
I guess to play on the brick question, just to confirm that this is like full brick veneer airspace over the panels. This isn't thin brick that's cast into the panels or anything like that, right?
Correct. We would use equal
Okay.
bridge typically.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that.
Yes.
Thanks, Megan. Further comments, questions? Drew?
I had a question on the site plan screening of the trucks, and I saw there was a concrete wall screening the side of the trucks in the one elevation. It's a little difficult to tell how the trucks will be screened from the road as they're backed in, you know, truck backed into there, the trailer and the truck in front of it, as you're coming off of the exit, or there's some landscaping, but the landscaping, there's like a big gap in the landscaping as well. So I'm kind of curious to how that is addressed.
We did discuss landscaping and what the capacity is that landscaping can do screening. We've had the same kind of comment come up to IKEA as we're almost a decade into that. It is very hard to screen semi-trucks. We do try to put it in the best location. You guys saw that with the Meyer last year, where we found a good spot for that. This one, when we're all sides of it are kind of open and exposed,
Yeah.
but I'm happy if there's something else from a landscaping perspective. We just can't build a wall really tall enough, and then that itself would then become,
Then you got to screen the wall.
yeah, so.
And there is a pretty significant height differential, right, from the base here to where then the bottom of the building or top of the building even goes up to the top of the interchange. Like, there's a pretty significant,
Grade change.
yeah.
Other comments? No. If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve with the staff comments as provided regarding extending the wall modulation pillars, screening the HVAC, parapet, tack comments, and approval on the brick color.
And reveals.
And the yes, and
Horizontal
the
reveals.
reveals. Horizontal reveals. Thank you for our resident architect for me not knowing my words. That's my motion.
Thanks, Sean. We have a motion by Megan.
I'll second it.
We have a second by Sean. Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Baumgartner,
Yes.
Mr. Curran,
Yes.
Mr. Bender,
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson.
Yes, the motion does carry. Thank you. Next agenda item is River Place PUD Committee. We don't have any agenda items there.
No items tonight.
Ross, any staff communication today?
No staff communication for you.
Quick to the point, thank you. Seeing no other agenda items, we can consider ourselves adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.